I just want to say this episode's going to be talking a lot about color composition, and we're going to be building more funky walls because I've been trying to figure out a way to show these off to you guys and kind of talk about my process. And I have some folks that really like watching me and just listening to me ramble and seeing all of the funky stuff I do, and I really appreciate you folks because you're clearly crazy like I am. But I also have people who like watching my content just for like the time lapses and seeing my finished builds and finished projects. So if you're one of those folks, I absolutely adore you too, and you're probably crazy too because you're here watching me ramble for whatever reason. But if you just want to see the finished project, you can do so at the timestamp below. I'm sorry my videos are so random and chaotic. My brain is random and chaotic, so I just want to throw in a random thank you to everyone that enjoys watching my stuff and seeing the funky crap I'm working on, because it feels very chaotic sometimes, and it's probably the ADHD, but anyways. Hey everybody! Hope you're having a wonderful day. I absolutely love colors. You see I've got some pretty funky walls here behind me that are lime and orange and like melon and pumpkin inspired. It all started with this hallway or stairwell. I guess it's more of a stairwell. It all started with this funky little stairwell here, and when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the walls, we had all this leftover lapis blocks from mining, and I decided to do like a blue stairwell, and it kind of reminds me of like a subway tunnel for some reason. So it started with this, and then I added the melon and pumpkin walls over here, and then it just slowly started creeping in around the village. I started to really like the weird patchwork multicolored walls using blocks that maybe you don't do a whole lot of building with, like hay bales up here with this yellow wall and the concrete powder, and then over here too. And then this one was the first multicolored wall I did because we had our little initial lava set up over here, and I decided I wanted to do like a lava nether fire inspired one with the black and the red and the orange. I thought that was pretty neat. And then I did this wall up here, so I wanted to put something really bright and colorful with lots of flowers. Because it's in memorial of my mom, who passed away a year ago now, and I did this about 3 months ago, and just haven't known how to show it off, and I really wanted to, because obviously she meant a whole lot to me, and I had already been doing the colored walls throughout the village to try and bring in more color. And we had this giant one here, and that's when I decided I wanted to do like a big colorful wall. It's supposed to look like flowers on a hill. And then her two favorite flowers were roses and lilacs, and then I threw in the alliums, or I don't know how to say them, doesn't matter, but I always really appreciated this wall. And I just wanted to show it off real quick, not to get too sad or depressing or anything, because I know how much people love depressing content on YouTube. So we're going to go down and take a look at the last couple of sections of colored walls I did, and then we're going to start our new project, which is going to be over near the archery zone we did, and then another stairwell I made to connect the archery zone area to the lower bay area. So I will meet you guys down in the next colorful hallway, and then we'll get cracking into some actual building. How's that sound? Alright, so we're back down here where we started at the melon and pumpkin walls, and if we actually head down this stairwell, you'll see we've got some redstone red walls, and then we've got some amethyst purple walls here. And if you caught the video where I did these two little dual cottages, you probably spied this like kelp green wall here in the background. This one's probably the funkiest for me, mostly because I feel like the white concrete powder and the blocks don't necessarily match perfectly up with the kelp blocks. I may actually go back through and remove the white, the solid concrete blocks with bone blocks, but that's a project for future Sophie. So we're gonna go back up this, but instead of heading up, we're gonna head around our cleric building. But today's project is gonna be up this stairwell. We're gonna replace all this stone with some colorful goodies I've got here. Some colors I haven't quite worked into the village yet. And then this wall up here with the redstone lamps, it's gonna be like a tri-colored wall, and it's gonna be themed after arrows. So we're gonna have some target blocks in there. We're gonna have some, not fletching tables, because we are in an active village, but we're gonna do some other fun stuff here too. Take a look at what's in the chest. So I thought for this wall, or this stairwell rather, we're gonna do some greens and some purples and some tealy colors. So I've got warp stems and crimson stems, and we're gonna strip those and use the strip variants with some of the warp blocks for both types, and then we're gonna work in some cyan concrete powder, that is a mouthful, cyan concrete powder and purple concrete powder, and then I've got some lime and green concrete powder too, because I kind of want to give it a little bit of a green pop. The main idea behind this is color composition, if I could speak. Reds are opposite to green, or not opposite, but they're complementary to green. So that's why we've got a lot of red tones here, because we've got the marooniness of the stripped crimson, which has also got more of a red hue, and then that brings in the purple, because it also goes along with purple. And then we've got the warped stems and the cyan concrete powder, because they also kind of fall into a blue-green sort of a category. You're probably shaking your head in disbelief and in disgust that I even am trying to act like I know what I'm talking about, but I promise I know what I'm talking about, and this is gonna be really nice looking, and we're gonna get into some building as soon as I get a refill on my coffee. So I will be right back with you folks. Alrighty everybody, now that I've been properly caffeinated, let's get into it, shall we? Alright, so step one, so we gotta remove all the visible stone. Just a bit of a pain in the ass, but ultimately it'll look really nice. But this is the easiest part in my opinion. It's just removing all this stuff. The hard part is gonna come when we try to lay in the blocks and figure out what pattern we want them all to go in. And just like that, we're right back where we started. Now the question is what block do we want to start with? I think we're going to start with these. So what I'm going to be doing for starters is I'm going to go through and place warp blocks where I think they'll look nice. But you'll notice I'm kind of making it look like there's a lot of like little veins of it running through. Like this starts here and then it goes up here. These are kind of poking around the corner. This is coming up this way. I'm probably going to add another one like right here. And then we'll do another one here. And we'll place a warp block there, or crimson block there. After a while, you'll start to notice it coming together. And I'm just hoping it turns out pretty interesting in the end. I think it will. I think it will. I think we're gonna run out of warp blocks, so I may have to go cut down some more stems. Oh, we might make it. Gonna be cutting it close, though. I know this looks super duper funky right now. But it's gonna come together. If we just believe. It's so nice to just sit and place blocks sometimes. I mean, that's all I do, but it can be really relaxing when you really need it most. It's the beautiful thing about Minecraft, in my opinion. And we're gonna go in with the cyan and the purple, and let's grab the greens too. The hardest part is I'm using the powder right now, and then I'm gonna go back through with a bucket and turn some of them into solid blocks, and I'm gonna leave other ones powder for more texture variation. I know it looks really, really, really chaotic at the moment, but just know it's gonna look less chaotic here in a couple of seconds, hopefully. I know what you're asking yourself. You're asking yourself, what the heck is she doing? It looks like she's just placing random blocks. You're not wrong. But if you trust yourself, and you trust the process, you might just surprise yourself. Nice little variation in blocks. And we're gonna go through and strip everything. And it'll all make more sense, hopefully. Am I the only one that likes stripping the nether woods? I think it sounds like extra crunchy. Just like that. I really do like how this turned out. I bet y'all thought I was crazy, and you're not wrong, but with this case specifically, when I started placing the warped blocks, and I started placing all the other different blocks, like the non-stem blocks and the concrete, I bet you started wondering, what the hell is she doing? Because this looks entirely chaotic and entirely too random. But once I stripped those logs, it all kind of comes together, doesn't it? This works, and it fits, and it looks nice too. You'll have to let me know in the comments below what you think of this stairwell. Is it too much? Is it too chaotic and too all over the place? Because I absolutely adore it. So now with this stairwell done, our next step is going to be doing this wall. And we're going to do it just like we did the stairwell, and we're going to take out all of the stone blocks first. Alrighty, and just like that, using my witchy magic, all of the stone blocks are gone. And now you'll notice my hotbar is magically filled with all sorts of other blocks. We've got bone blocks and mangrove, and we've got concrete powder here, and got some target blocks and some more concrete, and some birch logs and some more concrete and some golden carrots. But those aren't for the wall, those are for me. Gotta stay fed. So we're gonna go through and strategically place some of these target blocks here, make it look kind of nice. So we're gonna start over here actually. Place one there. Because you'll notice I only have 10 of these. So I'm not trying to have target blocks all over the place, because they're kind of expensive. Like, not really expensive, but just sort of expensive. So I kind of want it to look like it's bouncing. And it does kind of looks like it's bouncing a little bit. I've got two more here. It starts there and goes up, comes back down a little bit. Let's put another one right there. And maybe we'll move this guy over a little. We'll move you over a little. you there. Now I don't want it to be too white. And I do want it to have a little bit more structure than the last stairwell we did. But it doesn't need to be too structured. I think making the target block look like it's bouncing over this way is a nice touch. And then maybe we'll use the bone blocks above all the lights, because it'll kind of make them stand out a little bit more. I like that idea. And now we need to get some red in here. And I want to get some wood in there, because we need some texture variation. Adding some wood and some different concrete powders should definitely help that a lot. It is a little difficult to make a wall that's literally only 3 or 4 blocks high, 3 blocks high. But I think it'll still turn out looking pretty neat. You know what? I should probably do this little tiny section here, because I don't really have a plan for this. Not for this little section. Alright, let's start stripping this wood. I'm clearly just a funky builder, and I'm okay with that, because I really do enjoy how this turned out. It is definitely really funky. Oh, I missed one. There we go. Now I had an idea for the top part. I've got to grab... You're gonna die. There you go. That's what you get for getting in my way. So we're gonna go up here. We're gonna need our shovel. Handy dandy shovel. We're gonna take out all these blocks. And I will meet you on the other side. Alright, so we took all those out. And now we gotta go back through. And we're gonna take all these out. And again, I will see you on the other side. Alright, so we're on the other side now. And we're gonna go back through again. Sorry about all the back and forth, but this was the easiest way to do this. So now we're gonna go back through with the mangrove and the birch wood, and we're gonna alternate them. This is how much I want to get this project done. I'm out here in the rain doing it, but I got all the topper blocks in, the mangrove and the birch, and now using my witchy magic, I'm going to get rid of that sheep and strip them all, and then we will put on the final touch. Alright, just like that, the sheep is gone using my witchy magic, and I have stripped all of the logs, and you can see it's probably making a bit more sense to you what I'm doing. And then we're going to go through with the andesite slabs, and we're going to cap off our retaining wall here with andesite slabs. It's going to make the lower section pop a little bit, and it's going to make the upper logs that I just placed a little less noticeable, but it's going to make them look more like a top runner. See? I don't know if any of this makes sense to anybody, but I really enjoy how that turned out. Why don't I go to sleep real quick so we can actually see what this looks like in daylight and not in a thunderstorm. Oh yeah. I really like how this came out. Once again, it's another funky wall, but funky is definitely my wavelength, clearly. So I really enjoy this a lot, and I enjoy that it's subtle. I'll probably add in some flowers in the front, maybe some torch flowers and some other shorter flowers like alliums or something, but I really enjoy this, and it makes it painfully obvious that you're headed to the archery range, which is kind of the whole deal, the whole idea behind it. We've got our directory board right there, so I wanted things to be pretty obvious, but also keep it with the overall scheme of the village with the funky walls and the funky stairwells. So I really enjoy this a lot, and I hope you guys do too. And I hope it gave you some inspiration to maybe branch out a little bit, try some color composition. Google some stuff and look into some color theory and things along those lines. I'm not an artist by any means, but I do know a little bit about color composition and things along those lines. Studying telecommunications, working in television and in radio, things along those lines. You start to pick up a thing or two after a while. But I really enjoy this wall, and I really enjoy this funky little stairwell, using the maroon and like burgundy colors and the tealy colors. I think it really turned out pretty spectacular. So we might do something with this outer side of the wall that's maybe a different color but also ties into these. I just haven't been able to figure out like what color to do, or maybe do like a mural or something going up this stairwell and then this way. I haven't quite decided. So if you have any ideas or anything that you think might look nice, consider commenting below and letting me know, because I love hearing from everybody. I know I say that every video, but I genuinely do mean it. I love hearing from everybody. And in our next project, we're going to do the Masonry Guild, which is going to go here. And that'll be a classic Sophie tearing down a building time-lapse and then building it up time-lapse. We're going to kind of dig this hill out a little bit and set it back in here and maybe make it look like a little fortress or something. I'm putting together ideas in my head, but I can't wait to share them with you folks. I really hope you've been enjoying the new spurt of videos that we've been doing now that I'm fully moved. If you haven't seen the video with the dual cottages where I talk a little bit about that in the beginning. But yeah, I genuinely appreciate anyone that checks out my content, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day and a beautiful tomorrow, and I will see you folks in the next video. Later.